And Pacific, only on Discovery Sunday.
Within a second and a half, I felt the canopy open and then I slid out of the mess to see where I was at.
Ultralights and hang gliders are tightly stressed, almost brittle flying machines that usually fly at low altitudes. If something goes wrong, they become a broken mess of tangled lines and struts tumbling to the ground in a hurry.
And he's firing right now.
News helicopters are moving beyond traffic reports and forest fires. The live eye in the sky is taking us right on top of breaking news events as the real-life drama unfolds.
Hi there, I'm Paul. And I'm Phil. We're the Answer Guys. This time around, looking to improve your outdoor leisure time with high-tech products for outside.
Hello, I'm Richard Hart. Welcome again to The Next Step. All right, imagine this. You go for an airplane ride in a small plane. The wing breaks. You can't even glide into a safe landing. The pilot says, don't worry, we have a parachute. You say, what? We have a parachute? There are two of us. He says, no, don't worry. It's a parachute for the whole airplane. Well, we're not quite there yet, but it is definitely the next step in aviation.
And I tumbled the glider, wrapped up completely inside the glider. Put that chute on, put the rocket on. I flew maybe 4 minutes with it, my second flight with it. And I seen one little area I could shoot my rocket through. And I just aimed it and out she went and down I come. Within a second and a half, I felt the canopy open and then I slid out of the mess to see where I was at. But I like these. I wouldn't fly without one, to tell you the truth.
In an ultralight or any experimental aircraft, when you're too close to the ground or too close to the propeller just to jump out, and when an ejection seat is out of the question, you don't get a second chance unless you have a parachute. Not just for you, a parachute for the whole plane. So you don't want to take another step without the next step. It's called Second Chance, and it's not just a parachute packed in here. It's ballistically deployed. The chute rockets out of there, and within 2 seconds, you have a fully deployed parachute. Ultralights and hang gliders are tightly stressed, almost brittle flying machines that usually fly at low altitudes. If something goes wrong, they become a broken mess of tangled lines and struts tumbling to the ground in a hurry. Now, for most pilots, it's a major operation just to get the chute out, if you have one, and most of them don't. So many of these accidents are fatal. A pack like this weighs about 2 pounds more than an emergency chute operated by hand, but it has a couple of advantages, particularly to a paraglider who might get in trouble close to the ground. One, it's much more likely to penetrate a tangled shroud than anything you can throw out there by hand. And two, it opens very, very fast. How fast? Instantly.
I nailed it.
Instead of cutting away your hang glider, you're going to use this and then write it down. You can't cut the hang glider away.
John Heine is a world champion acrobatic hang glider pilot. Up to now, he's never used an emergency chute.
There are things that you just wouldn't try if you didn't know you had a backup system. It takes the worry out of being high.
See ya!
Now, you might think that the Second Chance pocket rocket, as they call it, is in fact a rocket. It isn't. Not in the sense that it ignites and burns some sort of exotic fuel. It's so simple, it uses compressed air right out of a scuba tank. Charged up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, this medium-sized rocket has 60 pounds of thrust for 1 second, enough to travel over 100 yards in free flight.
This particular system is retained on a triple O-ring spigot, so it holds its high pressure for extended periods of time, and it has a pretty unique release mechanism and allows the tank to fly out like a rocket when you pull this pin right here. I'll show you. This spring's going to fly off. This retains 12 ball bearings underneath this spring, so you'll see how this ignition works. Then once that spring leaves, all these ball bearings just fly out of the way and let the rocket go. This is your actual rocket right here. There's a venturi nozzle up inside of it. And these are the drag lines. This is what attaches to the parachute.
Second Chance markets systems for skydivers, hang gliders, paragliders, and ultralight aircraft. And one other application John is working on.
If somebody's floating down a river, you're going to be able to get a rope to them in a hurry.
The rocket rope can shoot 500 feet of floating nylon rope, more than the length of a football field. It can be used by weekend boaters as well as mountain rescue teams. Second Chance hang gliders and aircraft recovery systems range in price from about $600 to $1,250. And they have about a dozen letters of testimonials from folks who've tested these chutes when they really needed them. So if $1,200 sounds like a lot of money, how much would you pay for insurance on the way down? Next up, reducing the X-rays in your life, from computer mammograms to the light that shines through a baby's head.